name's Susina and I'm going to take you through a back care workout. Now this workout isn't aimed at anybody with specific back problems, but as a general workout to look after our back and basically the core, the trunk of the body. So it's back exercises and any exercise related directly to our back. Now it's always important you've warmed up before you exercise. I'm going to leave you to do your own warm up each time before you put this video on. So always make sure you've done some nice big movements to get nice and warm before you begin. So I'm going to go straight into the back exercises, but first of all we need to check our posture. So all of these exercises are going to be done in and can be done in seated. So sitting forwards on the chair, we need to know that our shoulders are over our hips. We're not slouching, we're not leaning back, we're not leaning forwards. It's straight line. And our knees are over our ankles, so we're nice and secure on the chair then. If the feet are out, it's too easy to slip off the chair. So our chin is tucked and our chin is parallel to the floor. So chin tucked, eyes looking forward, shoulders over the hips, knees over the ankles. That's our exercise position when we're working out. So we're going to mobilise the back first. Like I say, you should be thoroughly warmed up first, but we're going to do some exercises to mobilise the back. So sitting in that position, arms across our chest, we're going to gently twist side to side. Now not too far, but trying to go a little bit further on each one as you ease into it. So these first three exercises are about mobilising the joints, loosening our joints. Now if you want to get a bit further around, put your hands at the side and use your arms to guide you out. Remember, never force it. We're trying to look after our back, not injure our back. So you're trying to just ease yourself round a little bit further on each one, then come to the centre. The next exercise, you're going to put your hands around to your lower back just for a little bit of support, and then we're arching the back. Now you'll notice I'm not leaning back, I'm arching my back. I'm trying to lengthen through my spine. So my eyes are looking straight ahead, certainly not throwing the head back, otherwise we can compromise the neck. So just lengthening through the back. Obviously you could do all of these in standing if you want to as well. And then we're going to go into a side bend. So I want you to imagine you're between two panes of glass. You can't go forwards or backwards, but we're going to lean side to side. So we're not collapsing across, we're lifting the trunk of the body as we move across. So it's up nice and tall. If you want to add a bit of a stretch, you could take the arm over as well. Adds a little bit of a stretch for our lats, our big back muscles there. Now don't be surprised when you do these mobility exercises if you get a few pops and cracks as everything's realigning, tendons and ligaments are realigning. We're releasing little pockets of air, we're stretching the vertebrae out and up tall. Okay, do that posture check again. So make sure the chin is tucked and parallel to the floor, shoulders are over the hips, knees are over the ankles. We're going to start with an ab hold. This will work the abdominals and a band of muscle around our middle called our transverse abdominis. It's an internal muscle, so we can't see it. It's one of the deeper muscles. I'm going to do it side on so you can see what my body's doing. Like I say, all these exercises we can do in seated. So shoulders over the hips, hold the side of the chair for a bit of support. And you're leaning back, keeping the back straight. So you're not arching your back, you're not flopping back. The pelvis is pushed forward. You'll only come back a few inches and you'll feel all of this engaging. You're going to take some nice deep breaths and then come back up. Now you'll know how long you can hold it. If you're losing the technique, come out of it, have a brief rest and go back into it again. I'd rather you held it properly than try to hold it for too long. So you'll come into it, hold it, keep pulling your navel towards your spine. Pull that belly button to the spine and come up. So it's really important we keep these muscles around here strong to help our posture. And when our posture's poor, it puts all sort of stress on our back So once more, just hold it a few seconds and come forwards. Brilliant. Now we're going to use a weight for the next exercise. This exercise is called, my floor's not very even, is it? We're going to need one weight, it's called a lighthouse, you'll see why. Again, you could do this in standing if you're able to stand up. Hold your weight out, the further out, the harder you'll work. And you're going to twist side to side. So if you've got osteoporosis, I'd really err on the side of caution with this exercise. And twisting side to side to get the trunk of the body working. You'll really get it into your obliques, these muscles at the side here. Now let the head follow. And don't go too quick, you don't want to make yourself go dizzy. Just twisting side to side. And really use that weight to pull you round, feel the trunk of the body. Now just check your posture, make sure you're not collapsing. And come back to the centre. Brilliant. Keeping with the weight, we're going to do a wood chop. So this is also going to get the muscles at the side here. Now, when all these muscles are weak, we get poor posture, we sit slumped, we slouch to one side. That all pulls on our back muscles. So although this isn't directly a back exercise, it's working the trunk of the body. It's important for posture to care for the back. So holding your weight, if you haven't got proper dumbbells, you can use tin cans, filled water bottles, anything you've got to hand. So holding your weight up to one side, pull your belly button towards your spine and bring it down and across to the other side with a little twist of the body. Up and bring it down and across to the other side. Now take a nice deep breath in as you come up, breathe out as you come down, breathe in as you go up, breathe out as you come down and across. Nice big reach. Let's do 2 more. And 1 more. Brilliant. Then we'll go up to the other side. You may find you feel it quite a bit in your shoulders. If you're not used to doing weights, you may find you need a lighter weight to start with for your shoulders as well as for the trunk of the body. Okay, to the other side. Now, as you get fitter and stronger, you'll be able to build up the number of repetitions that you're doing. So remember, breathe in as you come up, breathe out as you come down and twist. Let's do 2 more. Get the head round as well as the body. Should be feeling it into the sides, into the trunk of the body. And up. Bring that down. Brilliant. Now we're going to do a side bend. I want you to use just one weight at a time, but you may be able to use a bit more weight than you had because we're not holding it up over our head. Our shoulders are not having to work hard. So we're going to have as much weight as you can hold. I'm doubling up the weight. You're going to move your bottom to the edge of the chair. Hold the weight to the side. Have the hand on the other side so you don't come too far off the seat. Get a nice good stretch down and then up and slightly the other way. Lean down and up. Now you're going perfectly sideways, not leaning forwards or backwards. And we're using the obliques, we're using the waist. Like I say, it's important for our posture. When these muscles are weak, we slouch. Not only do our muscles not like it and our back not like it, but it can affect our internal organs as well. 1 more. And up. Brilliant. Then to the other side. Hold it there. Reach down. And up. So no forward and backward bending. Remember, we always breathe out on the effort. So the effort's pulling ourselves back up. So that's when we'd exhale. Okay, a couple more. And up. Brilliant. Bring that in. Now we want a weight in each hand this time. Sit forward on the chair so that you can hold the weights beside you, palms inwards. And we're going to do a shrug. We're just going to shrug the shoulders up and down. So we're working into the upper part of the back, our rhomboids, our trapezius, our upper back. Now make sure you get those shoulders all the way down as well as up, especially because we carry so much tension in our upper back. And not too quick, but a really good range of movement. This is a nice simple exercise, but very effective for those upper back muscles. Okay, one more, all the way up, all the way down. Brilliant. Okay, our next one, we're doing a row. I'm going to give you two versions. First, the version in the chair. Like I say, this whole workout can be done seated. Leaning forwards, back nice and flat, let the arms hang, look at the floor, pull the elbows up, squeeze the shoulder blades together, take it down and release. So pull the elbows up, squeeze the shoulder blades and down. If you are able to stand, you can do that in a standing position. This will bring your abdominals into it a bit more as well, because you're having to hold that body position. So it will get your abs working as well if you can do it in standing. But make sure your back is nice and flat. We're not round in the back. The chest is lifted. The neck is in alignment. So remember, breathe out as you squeeze the shoulder blades together and bring it down. Okay, one more. And then coming up. Brilliant. Now, ditch your weights. The next exercise is a nice gentle little pelvic tilt. You can do this laying on the floor, standing against a wall, or sitting on the chair. It's a very gentle just tilt of the pelvis. So you're tilting your hip bones up towards your chest. It's a really subtle movement. Often people go wrong because they're trying to make this a big movement when it isn't a big movement. It is just a little tilt. Tilt. And so you could do it on the floor and your bottom will just slightly lift an inch off of the floor as you're doing it. And you'll be engaging the pelvic floor and the lower abdominals. Okay, one more little tilt and down. Brilliant. We're now going to do some stretches, all linked again to looking after our back. Now we're going to start by stretching out the hip flexor. The hip flexor goes from the stomach over the front of the pelvis to the top of the thigh. Now if you're going to do it on the chair, you'll need to sit to one side, pull that leg all the way back, hold the chair so you don't fall off, and push the pelvis forward so you're feeling it in the front of the hip. The reason this muscle is important is when we sit, it shortens. And when it shortens, it tilts the pelvis forward, and that can cause the buttocks and the lower back to lock up. Now, if you can do it in standing, you can hold on to the side of a chair and push the pelvis forward, feel the stretch through there that way. So the more we sit, the more important it is that we stretch these muscles out so that it's not constantly pulling our pelvis forward. Then ease out of it, swap sides, whether you're doing it sitting or standing, just pushing that hip forwards. And take some nice deep breaths when you're doing the stretching. It's a really nice feeling. If your hips are tight, you'll really feel it on this. Then ease out of it. Then we're doing an upper back stretch. So we're going to interlink the fingers around the upper back. Like you're giving someone a hug or you're hugging a tree. Get those fingers together. You can drop the chin down a wee bit so it stretches right in the top of the back up into the neck. Now you're pulling on the fingers and widening the shoulder blades. And then when you need to, ease out of it and then go into it again. So it's quite tough for some people pulling on the fingers like that. So we're not separating the fingers, we're trying to get the elbows wide, which gets the back muscles wide. So we did that rowing exercise, and now we're loosening those muscles off. Take some nice deep breaths, and then ease out of it. Brilliant. We're going to do a seated twist. So pop your hand to the back of the chair, hand outside the knee, keep a gap between the knees, chest up, ease yourself round so you can feel it across your lower back. Now don't force it, it should be a nice stretch. If there's pain, you're definitely going too far. We're easing into and out of the stretches, easing ourselves round, feeling this across the back. Now ease out of it round to the other side. You might get a few pops and cracks out of your back when you're stretching, that's everything's realigning. When one muscle's tight, it can really affect other muscles in the body, so it's really important to have a good stretch out each day. Then gently round to the centre. Then we're going to do a little C shape of the back. Just rounding the spine. There's a muscle that runs down each side of our spine. It's called our erector spinae, holds the spine erect. And so it's working hard all the time. Now I'm not forcing this C shape, and certainly if you've got osteoporosis, you don't want to be forcing your back into this position. It's just a little flop forwards into a C shape, just to get rid of any tightness through the muscles down the spine. And then ease out of it. We're going to do a side stretch, so we want one arm up. Hold the side of the chair, or if you're standing up, you can hold your waist. Reach up and then slightly across. So we're not collapsing across, it's a big up and across. So it's pulling all down the side, in the lats, the back muscles, through the waist, through the side of the hip. Really pull that arm for some extra stretch. You can always wriggle the fingers. Helps keep the circulation going to your fingers when your hand's up. Come up, bring it down, give it a little shake out. Then the other side, obviously we always stretch both sides. Even if only one side feels tight, stretch both. Always keep the body balanced, always do both sides. And then come up. And we're going to finish with a leg stretch. It's our hamstrings, and when our hamstrings are tight, it pulls on our back. So one leg out straight, hands on the bent leg, ease yourself forward, feel the back of the thigh stretching. When these shorten, they pull down on the pelvis, which makes the back lock up. So really important to stretch these out, and the more you're sitting, the more you should be stretching them out. Go a little bit deeper if you can, if the stretch has eased off. And then ease out of it. If you feel like you need more of a stretch, you can hold these longer each time. Hold them a good minute or more. But always make sure you're nice and warm when you stretch. Never stretch from cold. Always warm the muscles first. So at the end of a workout, or when you've done some nice big movements, and then ease out of that, come up. So hopefully you feel like you've worked your back, but also loosened your back off as well. Try this workout 3 to 4 times a week, and hopefully you'll feel your body getting stronger and more mobile as you do it. Good luck with it.